Okay, welcome everyone to this conference with Le Cercle des Langues. Today we are going to discuss making friends and small talk in English. So the conference will last for 25 minutes, and for the last 5 minutes we will answer your questions and we can discuss some of what you saw in the conference. Please feel free to take notes, to put any questions that you have into the chat or on a piece of paper so that we can discuss it after the conference. So tonight's conference is level A1 to A2. Let's begin. Tonight we will be discussing 4 parts. The first will be small talk in English. What is it? Why is it important? The second will be common subjects of small talk in English. The third will be common situations where you find small talk. And number 4 will be about making friends. Let's begin. Small talk in English. Many languages don't even have a word or expression for the concept of small talk. But in Britain, we love it and we do a lot of it. Making small talk is as British as a cup of tea. British people are quite reserved and don't like to get straight into deep conversations with strangers. They like to get to know them a bit first, and small talk is a perfect way to do this. So when it comes to small talk, we don't really have long answers. Before we go into the details, let's discuss what is small talk. So small talk is really a way to get to know the person, but the questions are not very personal. So we say in English, it is surface level. Everything is on the surface so that we make sure the person we are speaking to does not become uncomfortable. So we use how are you, like hello, as a warm greeting in the morning. Most of the time, if we ask how are you, it is true we do expect the reply fine or okay, thanks. So if you have had a bad morning, a headache, etc., yes, do say so. Just keep it short and sweet if it is with a stranger. So that means that it's okay to say, I'm having a bad day or a rough day. It just means that with small talk, we like to keep it light. That means that light conversation is really good when we have small talk. So what are some replies that we can give when we have small talk? Certain replies could be fine, and you? Or okay, thanks. Well, thanks. It is a great day. I have a headache. Do you have any tea? Not too bad, but I am a little stressed. Not too bad, but I was stuck in traffic for an hour. A little under the weather. I am a little sick. So when we tell someone that we are under the weather, C'est un peu bizarre en français parce qu'il n'y a pas une traduction, mais on dit qu'on est sous la météo. Mais en anglais, l'expression exprime que on est un peu malade. We are a little sick. So under the weather means we are not well. Queen Elizabeth II was apparently also the queen of small talk. The question she most often asked was, "Have you come far?" This shows interest in the other person without being too personal, and it is a beautiful example of talking about journeys or travel. So maybe when Queen Elizabeth II asked the question, "Have you come far?" it was a way to speak to foreigners or people who have come from different countries. So why is it a question that shows interest, but it is not too personal? It shows interest because you are allowed to say, "Yes, I came from America," for example, but you do not have to go into any details. Sometimes if we ask someone, "Where are you from?" it can be seen as too personal. So it's about striking a good balance. So what are some small talk questions we can use when speaking to strangers? We could ask, "Where are you from?" "What brings you to this event or this place?" "Do you have any favorite local restaurants or attractions?" "What's the most interesting thing you've done recently?" How do you usually spend your weekends? Have you traveled to any exciting places lately? Are you involved in any hobbies or clubs? Do you have any upcoming plans or goals? Some common subjects we can discuss when making small talk is the weather. Lovely weather, isn't it? All over the world, the British are famous for talking about the weather. And it's absolutely true. We do use the weather a lot for small talk. But why? Firstly, it's a subject which everyone can contribute to. So everybody can give their opinion on the weather. Sometimes it does feel a bit strange to always talk about the weather, but it is also a safe topic. It will not embarrass or upset people. And it is what we call in English an icebreaker. It opens the conversation to learn a little bit more about another person. What kind of questions could we ask? How's the weather? Where are you from? Nice day, isn't it? A bit cold or hot, isn't it? Has it been warm or cool lately? Are we expecting any rain soon? Do you usually prefer hot or cold weather? Has the weather been affecting your plans this week? The second topic we could discuss is the traffic. So in a statement, we could say those roadworks are really slowing down the traffic. Question: is there usually so much traffic here at this time of day? The third topic we could talk about are pets. Small talk about pets is popular in Britain for a few reasons. It's a pet ownership culture. Britain has one of the highest rates of pet ownership in the world, especially dogs and cats. And it is a non-controversial topic. Pets provide an easy, light-hearted topic to discuss. When we say it is a non-controversial topic, it is a topic that cannot be very personal. It doesn't have to be very personal. Because we do not know how other people would react to certain subjects, it is better to keep the subjects you choose light and appropriate, especially when speaking to strangers, because we do not know their limits. We also find that there could be a cultural or a language barrier. And because we do not necessarily always understand different cultures, talking about pets is an easy way to keep it light until we know the people a little bit better. Some questions we could ask. Your dog's enjoying its run in the park. What kind of dog is it? Do you have any pets? What type of pet would you like? Did you have pets as a child? Topic number 4. Children and babies. Number 1, he, your baby seems to like looking at the trees or the birds. Your baby or your child is well behaved, isn't she or he? How old is your baby or your child? What does your child like to do? Is she or he or are they always so happy? Another topic that is safe to talk about are your surroundings or your environment. When we talk about the surroundings and the environment, it really creates a good conversation foundation because it is what you are looking at, what you are experiencing. Certain questions we could ask are, those yellow flowers smell so nice, don't they? Have you been here before? Do you know of any other nice places to visit? Are there restaurants near here? Do you live locally? Do you come here often? I wonder what that tree is. It's very unusual. So before we move on, you can see that the conversation is very light. They are general questions. And that is what we call small talk. Sometimes it might not seem very interesting, but when we are getting to know strangers, small talk really helps to break that initial silence. What are some common situations where you could find that you need small talk? At a cafe, for example. A woman could ask, have you been to that new cafe down the street? The man could reply, yes, I went there last weekend. It's really nice. She, the woman, responds, I've heard they have great coffee. Did you try it? The man responds, I did. The cappuccino is amazing. I also loved the atmosphere. The woman responds, that sounds lovely. Do they have outdoor seating? And the man responds, yes, they do. It's perfect for enjoying the nice weather. Chatting about work. So many people prefer to talk about other subjects before work. However, work is a common subject. For example, you could hear questions like, what do you do for a living? And do you enjoy it? Have you ever had a job that was completely different from what you do now? What's the most interesting project you've worked on recently? And how do you manage work-life balance? Family is also a popular subject. It can occasionally be difficult if the person is experiencing some family problems. So be ready to have another topic to discuss. I think if you are beginning to know someone really well, then you may begin talking about the subject of family. It is, however, good to be aware that we might need to change the topic if the person is not too comfortable speaking about family. If you would like, and if the conversation is okay to proceed, we could ask questions like, do you have any siblings? What's your relationship like with them? Are you close to your extended family members? What's a fun family tradition you enjoy? Where do your parents or your siblings live? Making friends. Among the many reasons to learn a new language, meeting new friends in new places is one of the most popular. Start conversations with locals and be open to learning about their traditions, customs, and way of life. Meetup is an application that shows you activities in European cities where you can meet people. Embrace meeting new people by attending local events, park runs, which take place in many European countries, sports, volunteering, local activities, language exchanges, festivals, and community gatherings. Just say yes. Just say yes to everything. Fancy traveling abroad and practicing your English? Go for it. The Eurostar and Flixbus can have cheap prices sometimes. So going into London or other European cities for a day or two from France is easier than ever. Also, there are various stops along the French coast where you can get the ferry over to England. Other countries in Europe where I can make friends and practice English. So some of our English-speaking neighbors or countries are Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales, Guernsey, Jersey, which are both British territories. Countries with a high number of English speakers are Holland, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Malta, and Iceland. So in conclusion, small talk is not the waste of time that it seems like it is. It is your way into new conversations. My best tip is to listen to UK TV and radio and hear examples of small talk in context. Actively practice it so it flows when you need it to. You can also try reading books such as Roald Dahl, Easy Reading for Beginners, to see common expressions, or find a series on Netflix and note down any small talk. So thank you for watching this conference with me today. Do you have any questions or any comments that you would like to make on small talk or the vocabulary or the questions that we saw in today's conference? Yes, Christian, it is possible. If you could put all your address, your mail in the chat, all your email addresses into the chat, I will send you the presentation after the conference. So do not forget, you can put everything into the chat and I will send it to you via email. So thank you everybody for joining me for this evening's conference. I will see you next week when we discuss a different subject. Stefan asked a question. Does the expression relationship is for the relation with people? Yes, Stefan. So when you speak of a relationship, it is the different kinds of relation that you have with different people. For example, friends, partners, family. Like with a mother and a daughter, it is a mother-daughter relationship. So when we talk about a relationship, c'est la connexion entre deux personnes, leur relation. I hope that is clear, Stéphane. Est-ce que c'est clair? My pleasure. So thank you everyone for joining me for this evening's conference, and I will see you next week. You will receive the conference via email. So thank you everyone. Have a good evening. Bye.